The Wolf and the Seven Little Goats. In a lush green forest lived a wolf who was always hungry. No matter how much he ate, his stomach was never full. Day and night, he ran through the forest chasing prey. And whenever he couldn't catch what he wanted, he would return to his den and growl, "Shall I chew on stones out of hunger?" The wolf's neighbor, the hyena, was far more clever. Without running or tiring, he would set traps and easily catch his prey. The wolf admired his wit, but he himself was not clever enough to set traps. One day, the wolf went to the hyena to join him for a meal. But the hyena was greedy and selfish. He said, "Brother Wolf, I wish I could invite you, but there isn't enough food. It's only enough for me." And he made the wolf wait outside. From that day on, the wolf promised himself, "I must also learn cleverness. Otherwise I will starve to death." A few days later, while wandering in the forest, he spotted a cottage. Curious, he quietly went closer and peeked inside from behind the trees. Inside lived a mother goat with her 7 little kids. One was jumping on the hay. 2 were playing with a ball. 2 were swinging happily. The last 2 were picking flowers. Meanwhile, the mother goat was baking a pie in the kitchen. The wolf laughed with delight. Perfect! A whole week's food all in one place. But then he thought, this is the time to set a trap, just like the hyena. That night, he hid near the cottage and made his plan. When the sun rose, the mother goat kissed her children and said, "I'm going to the market. Be careful, my little ones, and don't open the door to anyone. Remember what I taught you." The kids listened carefully and promised. The mother goat picked up her basket and left. The cunning wolf now seized his chance. He thought, if I disguise myself as their mother, the kids will be fooled. He went to a nearby yard where laundry was drying and snatched a long dress from the clothesline. He put it on, though his ears and tail stuck out awkwardly. Then he broke a few carob pods from a tree and fixed them to his head like horns. He walked to the goat's door and called out in a soft voice, "Children, open the door, your mother has come." The little goats rushed toward the door happily. But one of them peeped down and said, "Wait, our mother has white feet, but yours are black. You are not our mother." The wolf quickly ran to a bakery. There, he dipped his black paws into a sack of flour until they turned white. Then he returned to the cottage and again called softly, "It's me, your mother. Open the door, children." This time the kids saw white feet and heard the gentle voice. Believing him, they opened the door. But the moment the door opened, the hungry wolf leapt inside. The kids screamed, "Help! The wolf is here!" One hid under the table. One jumped into the bed. One slipped inside the closet. One crawled into the stove. One ran to the kitchen corner. One hid behind the curtain. And the smallest squeezed inside the big wall clock. The wolf searched angrily and caught each one of them, stuffing them into a big sack. Only the little one inside the clock remained safe. Pleased, the wolf slung the sack over his shoulder and went toward his den. On the way, the hyena saw him and exclaimed, "Oh, how did you catch so many?" The wolf grinned proudly. "I used my brains and set a trap." A while later, the mother goat returned home. But the door was wide open and the whole cottage was a mess. She cried, "My children, where are you?" Just then, the smallest goat climbed out of the clock, tears in his eyes, and told her everything. The mother goat took him with her and hurried to the wolf's den. From inside, they could hear the cries of the other kids. The mother whispered, "My child, we must use cleverness now." Together they came up with a plan. Standing at the den's entrance, they stretched their shadows into the cave. The mother deepened her voice and roared, "I am a hungry bear. If there's a wolf here, I will eat him at once." The wolf trembled with fear. He truly believed a giant bear had arrived. He abandoned the sack of kids and ran off into the deep forest screaming, "Help! A bear is after me." The hyena, watching him flee, laughed and said, "This wolf has no brains at all." Inside the den, the kids were still frightened, thinking a bear had come. But when their mother and little brother stepped in, They realized the truth. They hugged their mother tightly, overjoyed to be safe. The family returned to their cottage happily. The mother goat embraced her children and said, "My brave little ones, from now on we must always be careful." From that day on, the mother goat and her 7 kids lived safely in their cozy cottage. And the bad wolf never dared to return to that forest again.